Transformation in 3, 2, 1.
Hi everybody, Heather Stargazer here to do reading for the collective for whoever, whenever, wherever. I hope you guys are doing fantastic. If you're a returning gazer, if you're part of the gazing family, welcome, welcome. What you been gazing at? I've been gazing at you. If you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. So we're so happy to have you here. Oh, dropping things. So right now I have the Wild Harmonic Oracle, and I thought we would start there and get like a baseline for today's energies, the way people are feeling. I have some things going on in my personal life, and I'm wondering if you guys are feeling affected too. If you guys are, these energies with the eclipse season happening and at equinox, right? With the dawning of the age of Aquarius and all of that, Venus and Mercury in retro. There's a lot of energies happening right now, and they're happening and affecting us all in different ways. On the bottom, we have the force of nature. Look at that, the fire of fire. All right, so keep in mind at all times that you are a force of nature. All right, you are a force of nature, that fire within, that driving will, right? That's what this is talking about, the will of inspiration, the will of deed, and the thing that gets your fire going, right? The thing that directs that will within you. And when it becomes let's say like forceful, it can become destructive. So we need to maintain our balance, right? Look at that ineffable delight, spirit of water. There's good things coming in, and there are good things around you right now. Be mindful of that. There's a counterbalance to everything. So the negative things that are going on have positive things accompanying them. Sometimes we just have to shift our perspective, shift our heart perspective, and really be able to see, what was it that Mr. Rogers said when there was an emergency and kids were worried, and you'd be able to look at all the people helping. You could be one of those people. Guys, if I'm getting emotional here, I'll share with you at the end what's been going on. Ineffable delight. And I want you guys to know that to me, you are ineffable delight. Being here with you guys, the support and love that you show me, that you show one another, the fact that we're all growing, right? And examining our internal selves, our internal bodies, growing to see how we can better direct the force of nature that you are, that I am, that we are together in the heart space. Like chaotic return doesn't feel like that right now, huh? It feels like it's been encompassing us, the air of air and the different sides and the different perspectives, and feeling kind of boxed in, but at the same time being able to see the perspective around us. If we just kind of do like a 360 and kind of look and observe the space, right? Maybe we can take the object and walk around it, whatever. If it's sedentary and stationary and we need to be the mobile ones, that's okay, right? And if things are going chaotic around us, maybe it's time for us to go ahead and sit in our center and be able to put a boundary around ourselves, and then at the same time observe what's happening, right? Oof, what do we have here? The immune system, spirit of air. Now we have the immune system, because all of the things that happen in our lives, all of the people and places and things we interact with have an effect on us. Right? And sometimes it's a mental effect. Sometimes it puts us in a space of thinking, right? Sometimes it's an emotional effect and it puts us in a space of feeling. And sometimes it's a space of inspiration. And that inspiration can be positive or negative, right? Impulse toward rage is an inspiration. It isn't necessarily a healthy, positive one. What are we going to do with that, right? So that's where this is here, being mindful of the health. Be mindful of the way that things affect you. Do they sit on you in like a cloak kind of a way that keeps you encompassed within that feeling, right? I'm hearing embodiment. So the things that we experience, the things that you're experiencing emotionally, you might be feeling in your physical self. right? They might be affecting you in a physical way. And even if they aren't affecting your body, you're noticing that they're affecting the health of your relationships, the health of your family's well-being, the health of your economy and your finances, the health of your business, right? All of these things affect our immune system in a way. So they can build up our immune system or they can take it over. It's up to us to build ourselves up to make us strong, and at the same time still be able to be within, it's like be in the world but not of it, right? That kind of a feeling. And being, again, mindful of how all of these inspirations, whether they be positive or negative, all of these actions, occurrences, relationships, right? How do those affect the health of the being? Whoa, sorry, it's a bear. Bear's just stretching out. He's taking a relax, right? But how does that affect the emotional health, the physical health, the spiritual health, and the mental health and well-being of the things that it comes in contact with? And that's why we build immunities, right? If the people around you in your office are sick, it takes up some vitamin C. You might start drinking some orange juice, right? You might keep your distance between each other so that you don't get what they have. You wash your hands, right? Those kinds of things that we do, preventative maintenance, help our immune system help itself, right? So those types of things, if you get insurance, that's an immune system, right? For your car, and then there's an accident, you have an immunity to some of the repercussions that might have happened from that had you not had insurance, right? So these types of things are all part of our immune system, right? And then, wisecraft, earth of air. I love this. So we have 3 of these cards are air. Earth of air. Look at that beautiful, beautiful feather that looks like it's growing into a leaf, and it's a key. And there's a keyhole there. Right? The things that we grow, the things that we produce, and that's within ourselves too, right? Are you producing maturity? Are you producing level-headedness? Are you producing compassion? Are you producing grace? All of those things are growing. And then again, this feather, the air, right? The mind process, and turning them into resolvable things, turning them into solutions, finding those things that'll open the key, that are the keys to the allowance. Are they the keys to success? Are they the keys to healing? Are they the keys to peace? It depends what you're after. Take it how it resonates. But again, building up your immune system for whatever it might be by allowing yourself that space of observance and keeping yourself in a emotionally neutral space, right? Allows that force of nature within you to really produce and inspire and take care of the things that need to be taken care of in ways that maybe you'd never imagine them. And remember, Kali had to destroy things. Kali has to destroy things in order to create things, right? So there could be some things within us, in our exterior, within our lives, that might need to be handled in a way that is a bit of a destruction and reconstruction, right? Or a clearance so that that new space is there. If you've got all of this chaos in your life, there's no space for peace. If you've got all these people around you who are who you're having unhealthy relationships with, there's no space for healing, right? If these things, like this immunity, right? If we keep exposing ourselves to the things that make us sick, we're going to continue to be sick ourselves, right? If you continue to eat bad food, it's going to continue to build itself into your entire system and weaken you. And that goes for everything, relationships, financial decisions, all of those types of things. So just keep that in mind. Take it how it resonates, right? Now we're going to get some tarot. Just put those up here. I'm really, really loving those wild harmonic oracle. Really, really. And I ordered some cards that should be in soon, so we'll have a new variety of things to work with, to look at, new images to see and interpret. That's what I love. Ancestors, spirits, guides. And there you go, like the making of the space for something new, being open to something new coming in, to picturing something in a different way, huh? Trapped in fear in the reverse. Look at that. That's the 8 of Swords in the reverse. No longer being trapped in fear, no longer being trapped in that mental loop, right? Because that's what the 8 of Swords is, really. It's this thought that traps us. And again, that feeling of being freed from that space, right? Not allowing it to take you over, because in your wisdom you have found the key to your release, right? You have found the key to the access, the way that you enter the room, the way that you enter the space, the way you approach things. I'm proud of you guys. I'm really proud of you guys. It shows a lot of growth. Wow. And then we get material harvest in the upright. This is the 9 of Pentacles. And it talks about independent wealth, right? Being able to take care of yourself without having to rely on anyone else. And maybe other people are trying to rely on you. And then this is the boundary that you're setting in place and saying, use me as an example, right? Use my actions as a template. If you'd like to see your life change in the ways that my life changed, maybe there's some things that I've done that you can learn from, or vice versa. If you see somebody that's doing those things and you're like, hey, I want that for myself. You're really learning from those experiences, not just of your own, but of others, as to how to stand on your own 2 feet and be reliable to yourself. Right? And then that brings in all of these things that you need. And look at it, it's good food for your immune system. It's water to keep you hydrated, your emotional self, right? There's like a bag there, which we could only imagine is full of money at 11:11, right? You don't have to worry. You don't have to worry, but that could be bucking some kind of authority. There could be, that could be part of the challenge or part of the chaos or part of the thing. Like maybe, if we're so focused on protecting ourselves and protecting other things, we aren't focused on building, right? And that sometimes is a method used by people who would prefer, if we didn't grow, to keep us from growing, to keep us occupied. Busy work. And the teacher when you were a kid and you were done with whatever it was, and so she'd give you an extra assignment and you're like, what? And it was busy work. It was just to keep you busy, right? To occupy the space. And so that's a method that's often used by authority figures to keep you distracted or keep you occupied, so that you, in your free space and free time, don't go off and do something that's like different, against their will, outside of their boundaries, right? This could also be like not knowing how to take control of your life situation or self, because this is new to you. Right? This is talking about like don't allow yourself being trapped in fear to keep you from being able to take care of yourself in the way that you need to take care of yourself. And don't be so self-reliant and independent that it keeps you from being able to have real authority over your life and works. Let's get some more. Can you tell us about this 8 of Swords? 8 of Swords in the reverse, please. Can you tell us about this 8 of Swords? It's the Tower in reverse. What? This is disruption. And it's the number 16, which 8 plus 8 is 16, right? This is talking about keeping that firm foundation, and again, keeping the chaos at bay. And not letting those thought loops that keep repeating themselves over and over in your mind disrupt the foundations of self, the foundations that you've built, and the ground that you're standing on, right? You don't want to have any of those things disrupted. You don't want to be disrupted. And so by releasing yourself from that thought process, by allowing yourself to think about something different, or allow a different thought to enter the room. It could be just about observing things. If you're having a hard time seeing something from a different perspective, observe stuff. Pay attention to what's going around you. You're going to see something that might pique your interest, that might make you curious, inquisitive, wonder. Go ahead, think about it, right? Go somewhere else in your thoughts. Think about how The surprises don't need to be surprises. It just feels like whatever, because you're so firm within self, because you have built such a strong spiritual immunity, right? Because you are capable of ineffable delight. Because you are an ineffable delight. You are able to see, produce, love, support yourself. The Nine of Cups. So with the Nine of Pentacles, you get the Nine of Cups, wishes and fulfillment, material harvest. It's all coming your way. And again, standing at that space between the emotional wishes, the emotional draw, right? Look, he's standing on a leaf. Just like this. Right? Wise craft. Knowing how to use your resources and your abilities to manifest the wishes of your dreams and to allow the things that you're growing to carry you between those gaps in gaps in emotional self is what I was about to say. That's where your wishes lie, in the heart of yourself, within your heart space. And allowing it to wash over, wash through, but not take you over. Right? Standing there in that peaceful space. 9-9. 9-9. So close. Almost there. Almost complete. Your wishes are being fulfilled. Tell me about this authority in the reverse. Now that's the only we have two. Both the major arcana out are their major arcana for Aries. We are going into Aries season. You guys know how I feel about this. Like don't immediately assign it to the person whose sun sign you know that is, unless that this reading describes that person in your life, because we don't know what everybody else has in their charts. You don't know what everybody's rising sign is, and to be honest, the rising sign is the sign that we should be identifying ourselves with, right? Like, I'm Sun Aries. I have a stellium in Aries. I have 5 planets in Aries, but my rising sign is Scorpio. And I realize that when I watch Scorpio readings or read the Scorpio horoscopes, they are very applicable to myself, my person, my life. I'm seeing things, right? But when I read my sun sign, it might be how things are looking to me or how life around me is. So combine those two things. Well, that's a very personal thing that I have to go through every time I do a personal introspection according to my zodiacs. So are you going to do that for every single person in your life? Do you know how? Do you have the stuff? Probably not. So be mindful of that while we're reading, while you're watching readings, while you're figuring out who's who. Go with the archetype. Because if you don't know anybody's birthday, if you don't know anybody's sign, how does that person describe themselves to you? And this is the patriarchal in the negative. This is the big boss in the negative. Like, this is like the shitty dad, or the boss that is, telling everybody to do stuff but not doing anything themselves, and causing a lot of ruckus and not running the business very well. This is tyrannical authority in the larger scope of things, right? This is the patriarchy in the reverse. This is not having healthy boundaries and trying to rationalize control methods rather than things working together well for everyone's benefit, right? This is not good energy. Okay, so it doesn't have to be specific to a sign. It could be, you don't even have to be male, right? It could be anybody or anything that is acting, behaving, or embodying this way. All right, so keep that in mind. I feel like I need to say that. Because I feel like here at TarotGazing, we're gazing at the tarot. We're allowing it to tell us stories. So we need to be open to what the tarot has to say. And it's like a space when we're gazing at something is also like removing that part of logic that is you describing to you what you're seeing, and allowing the vision of the thing to tell you, to describe itself to you, maybe even on a subconscious level, right? Like staring at the clouds and you're like, oh, look, an elephant. You know what I mean? Like, did you see the face and the wood grain of that thing? Did you see the bird and that shadow? That's gazing. Okay. All right. Whew. Tell us about this Emperor in the reverse, please. At 1919, I just pulled that. The numbers, wow. The numbers in this reading are crazy because we had 8 and 16. Then we had 9, 9. And now we have 4, 4. It's like that heart chakra space. And again, those boundaries, right? Approaching all of this, including this person or this entity, right? From a heart space so that we don't become sick from how they're making us feel or the actions that they're taking, right? That's that keeping the peace within the chaos here, and the wise craft and the immunity. Again, with this immunity, that doesn't mean you got to go pat them on the back and be like, are you okay? I'm sorry you're such a jerk. Something must have happened to you. I mean, maybe if it's like one person that you know that's behaving this way, like you do have a boss, and you're like, all right, dude, you all right? Because maybe that's all they need. But when it comes to people who are cruel or vindictive or controlling, sometimes it's about, I'm going to say like tough love, but the boundary is putting up those boundaries to not allow it to affect you in a negative way or infiltrate your body in a negative way. And then saying, that's coming from a space of compassion for your own self-love. And even for the love of this person, because it's not loving to allow someone to continue to behave in a toxic way. And also that if we allow their anger, negativity, it feels like poison. It feels like poison in your life, in your body, in your attitude, in your heart, right? So by looking at that person who's behaving that way and saying that person has a severe in their heart space, in their mind space, that person is not healthy. That person is not well. By acknowledging that, we aren't taking on a personal negativity ourselves. We aren't taking on a like resentment, right? Exactly. We can allow them to hold their own toxicity. We can allow them to hold their own sickness or illness, or their own poor behaviors without embodying that ourselves. That's really important. We get the moon on the bottom in the reverse. That's important because it says shadow, light and shadow, right? So the opposite of shadow is light, but sometimes when the moon is in reverse, it can put us into that space where we're believing those self-delusions, where we're believing the confusion or the chaotic energy. So be mindful of that, right? Ineffable delight. That's how we're going to get out of this, actually, is by staying in this middle path here with these 9s and staying in this space. Like, these are the cards that are in the upright. How gorgeous is that? These are the cards that are in the upright. These are the cards that are in reverse. Do you see what I'm saying? We don't want to I heard fight back. This isn't about like fighting back. It's about standing firm within our own boundaries, standing firm within our own heart space, right? And building that immunity of self-reliance and boundaries to protect our heart space, to keep us in a healthy way, to keep that force of nature that we are, that you are, positive, healthy. Actually, what is this? We've got the tarot of the Book of Shadows. Book of Shadows tarot. Let me get some clarifiers. Ancestors, spirit. Messages to have for the collective. The Devil and the Chariot in the reverse. Look at this for this Eight of Swords. Trapped in fear. If we continue to Capricornian energy, Cancer energy, which are axial. Okay, and it's like the Capricorn in the upright, the the devil energy, the Saturnian energy. There we go with those constrictions, those restrictions, that feeling of obligation, of obsession, right? Eight of Swords could definitely be an obsession, right? Or something that's obsessed. It's like a thought that seems to be obsessed with us in our own mind, right? Right. Chariot in reverse. So that keeping tied to that keeps us stuck. It keeps us from being able to move forward. It keeps us from maybe to be upwardly mobile in our lives, right? That's that trapped in fear nest. Hi, kitty. And the kitten came to say hello. Hi, Jax, what you doing? Where'd you go? He's over there. He climbs on everything. I don't know what he's doing. Tell me about this tower in reverse. Tell me about this disruption. Ten of Wands on the bottom. It's like getting home late, putting a lot of work into it, carrying a lot of burden, carrying a lot of struggle, all the things that you worked for. Don't worry. Staving off this destruction by holding to your independent stability here, right? This is a Ten of Pentacles. Or, sorry, the Ten of Cups. Wow. That's even more wow. Because we have this ineffable joy here. And we have the Nine of Cups. So we're like so close to the Ten of Cups here by staving off this disruption, right? By disconnecting from the temptation, the obsession, the thing that keeps our head and our heart from being on the same page. By disconnecting from that, you achieve ultimate fulfillment emotionally. Because you guys have come a very long way. And these immunities that you've built up for yourself, maybe it was getting your own bank account and not having to worry about how somebody else was interacting with your finances. Maybe it was getting your own place. Maybe it was standing up for yourself and saying, you know, I don't really like that. I don't really want to participate. I'm not going there. Thank you. Go have fun. Bye. Maybe it was just releasing, and say just because it's the biggest thing, is like releasing the obligation, the false obligation within yourself to adhere to someone else's unhealthy demands for you. Here. I got him. Hi, Drax. Say hi. I know. Milo really wants to play. So, be careful, there's fire there. Oh my goodness. Alright guys, go on. I love him so much. Okay. So you, Milo. Yeah, see? Emotional fulfillment. It does. It talks about community. It talks about the people around you. It talks about being fulfilled. It talks about having that communal love, right? Because you maintain your own stability and you are like chaos is unwelcome, right? But you know that it's almost an inevitability in you know the way things work in the universe. It is your baby. I'm just gonna blow this candle out because he's a kitten and he's clumsy. We won't blow it out. We'll just bring it over here. I've actually had that candle lit for 3 days. It's okay. Can you tell us about this Nine of Pentacles, please? Can you tell us about the material harvest? Things are turning out very, very well for you. Can you tell me about this material harvest? And again, that Ten of Wands. You've worked really hard for this. It's not been easy. You ain't no schlup. You've been working your ass off. In the emotional realm, in the mental realm, yes. But in the physical realm, like all aspects, all ways, you've been doing it. And it's hard earned and hard won. And that's why your emotional wishes are coming through here, the fulfillment of your wishes, because you worked so hard for it. You dedicated yourself to it. You earned it, and it's yours. Seven of Pentacles. Look at that. Talk about you earned it. It's yours. Okay, so don't worry. And you're not going to let somebody else come in and affect the work that you've done in an unhealthy way. No, you tell him Hydroconus, Hydraxius, Hydrocana. Can you tell us about the authority in the reverse, please? I'm going to say, it just don't work. It just don't work. And we don't want to learn things from this. And this person doesn't want to learn things from you. This is Three of Pentacles in the reverse. It could be that somebody was in charge of something and they were so, I don't say bad at it, but impossible to work with and for, that no one wanted to participate in that. Nobody was really learning from them. It was kind of like driving a business into the ground, driving a company, or a just being this person who, again, we talked about this, like this authority figure here doesn't want to do the work, doesn't want to do the work. They want everybody else to do the work, but they don't want to do the work, and therefore they're not mastering anything. And what you've learned from them is so much because you've had to do all that work yourself. Probably with little or no guidance. And you learned that all on your own, and man, did you learn a lot. You're not giving in to this person anymore. No way. No way, Jose. What is this? So maybe somebody named Jose or Joe or Joseph has something to do with some relevance here. Maybe that's your name. Maybe I'm talking to you. Let's see. What is this heart chakra? Can you tell us about this heart chakra? Talk about coming around full circle. What? It's the Eight of Swords. Is it your empathy that gets you back into this space where you constantly go back to assisting, helping, or lending your time and energy and self to people who would just use you? Because you see how none of the work is getting done, and you are so used to carrying that weight and that burden on your own, and you're so patient with yourself and others about all of the things that need to be done in that process for it to work out well, that when you go back into your heart space, your mind starts spinning around it again. Stop it. Stop that. Knight of Swords in the reverse with the shadow in the reverse. It's meant to stop you up. It's meant to put you in that space mentally so you aren't going anywhere. So that you can't get, see how she's like writing letters and then crumpling them up, and she's writing letters and then crumpling them up. This is like, I heard Ma Belga de ill communication, like, is keeping you from being able to communicate that back or speak that into existence. It's keeping you from being able to be upwardly mobile in your endeavors, even though you've earned all this and you've done all of this. So tell your heart that it's very kind of it to be so compassionate that you feel sorry for assholes and you want to help them, but it isn't really helping you. It's a trap. So be mindful of that. Right? Be mindful of the things that you've worked on. This is your immune system, your spiritual immune system, your mental immune system. That's the key to getting you out of this trap. Right? So when your heart, when your mind and your heart aren't on the same page, your mind is going to have to tell your heart, this is the better way to go in the long run. This is the better way to be, to maintain the, I heard sovereignty, I heard integrity, I heard dignity. Right? Staving off that chaos. All right, so we have the Portal Oracle. I do have some Portal Oracles available if you guys are interested in them. Email me. They're $29.95 for the deck, and then there's also a book, a guidebook, which we'll read from. But that's not the point. I'm not trying to sell you guys stuff right now. I'm just trying to explain to you what this is, and that if you want one, you can have one. All right, ancestors, spirits, guides, what portal is going to lead us through this chaos? What portal does this key lead to? What is this keyhole? What is this all about for the collective watching today or whenever in the future? What is it that you would like for us to know? Where are we going? It's the rest. Look at that, the rest and observe. 65 and 25, 5 changes within the self, changes within relationships, right? And a 7, 2 plus 5 is spirit, and 6 plus 5 is 11, and it's service. So spirit is being in service to you, and you are being in service to spirit by taking a rest and observing. And we're gonna read the rest, and it's interesting to have observed, because it's like, it's yes, it's about rest, but it's also about the rest. all the others. See, and here's the book. Yes. Okay, we've come so far. How about the rest? Life is hard work and it can be exhausting. There's a time to go, 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 and a time to sit. Resting isn't doing nothing. Resting is rejuvenating, healing, calming, and necessary. When we go too long without it, we can become versions of ourselves that don't make as much sense. We are not at our best. It can be a struggle between the waking and the dreaming. Resting lets us regain the clarity that comes with a good night's sleep and the healing that can only be done in the dream state. Allow yourself the time and don't worry about the rest. So that's huge, huge, huge here. Because there's like you're this piece around you, and there's almost like there's this disruption that keeps coming through, or attempted disruption, and you aren't letting it disrupt the things around you. Instead, you're allowing it to disrupt your freedom of mind, right? And observe. Okay. I spy something deep within. It is said that wisdom lies not in seeing things, but in seeing through them. Manly P. Hall. Observe the details. What do you see? Sorry, I gotta take a second. How many different ways can it be viewed? What is it that you're really looking at? The textures of the surface lends hints to what's underneath. The context informs the purpose. The material gives clues to the quality. Whether it is something you need to take a more honest look at, or something taking a more honest look at you, the most wisdom is gained through observing. Direct observation may lead to changed behaviors in the observed. Which are you, the observer or the observed? I said observed, because then it says, who's looking at you, kid? And I think that this authority figure is definitely... could be someone who's looking at you. It could be your community around you. It could be, all the rest. Look at how these cards are talking to each other. Look at the greens. Let's just go with these greens here. You see, because the green is the heart chakra, the green is growth, the green is wishes fulfilled. There's all of these things for all of the hard work and patience that you've put into your material harvest by building up your immune system emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually. I'm very proud of you. I hope that was helpful. I hope that you got something out of it. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, I was going to tell you guys. My father passed away a couple days ago, and it's interesting because I wasn't going to do any readings this week at all. But then we were going to go on vacation and take my kids. It's a long story. I don't need to get all into it, but I wound up staying home. So I am home alone. And I, like I said, you guys are my joy. You guys feed me love. And I hope that I serve you with love, compassion, and good words. Good direction. Obviously it's all of our own lives, which direction we go. It's all of our choices are our own. But you guys lift me up quite a bit, and I kind of needed you in the room with me today. So I even put a bunch of it out there on the internet or social media. I had a very estranged relationship with my father. I'm not going to get into the too personal bit of it, but there isn't a massive difference in my daily life, disruption in my daily life, but the emotional self definitely has to process some things. And so I appreciate your patience with me, and I will be back throughout the week. We'll just see how everything goes. Again, I appreciate your loving, gracious support during at all times, especially during this time, but at all times. Thank you. I love you, and I'm wishing you the most beautiful, beautiful, wonderful, whether it be day, week, or ever, forever. I'm wishing you the most beautiful forever. Bye.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Transformation in 3, 2, 1.